Fair enough. I love Blaine from Tulsa. Blaine, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I have to talk about this whole Jon Jones situation, though, man.
Okay.
Man, okay. Where to begin? I don't know what everyone else was thinking after the Machida fight, but I know what I was thinking is I walked away from that fight less impressed with Jon Jones than I was before I saw the fight. And
Get out of here.
yeah, come on, he lost. His striking looked like crap the first round. Every time Machida would throw the hands, I mean, he would extend his arms and lift his chin in the air and stand up really tall and back straight up and flinch when he was getting hit. I mean, he just looked like an inexperienced striker.
Yeah, what did you think of the second round?
Second round, I mean, he choked him out. That's okay.
He choked him out with a standing guillotine.
Yeah, which is cool. It's the same thing he did to Ryan Bader, so he's obviously good with that choke. But here's where I think it's gone too far. Jon Jones is a good fighter. He's good. But, then I read Michael David Smith's article. He says, there may be nothing Jones can't do. He's as good a fighter as there is in the sport. And then he went too far with it. Then he ranked him number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, ahead of GSP, ahead of all these people. And not only did he do that, but he didn't even make him a distant second. He said he's like breathing down the neck of Anderson Silva to dethrone him as pound-for-pound king. I mean, maybe Michael David Smith, maybe I should throw these facts at him.
Yeah,
Jose Aldo, 4 title defenses. Dominic Cruz, 4 title defenses. GSP, 6 title defenses. Anderson Silva, 9 title defenses, should be 10 because of the Travis Lutter situation. And during that run, he also had 2 knockout wins at light heavyweight. And he's 14-0 in the UFC, winning by knockout, submission, finishing almost everybody. Jon Jones gets 2 title defenses, and now all of a sudden, he's like the best fighter in the world. I mean, the only UFC champion with less title defenses than Jon Jones is Dos Santos because he just won the title.
Well, first off, my name isn't Michael David Smith, so you're arguing with the wrong guy. But second of all,
okay, what about your Dana White interview where you said, how do you say he's not?
Yeah. I will tell you why, because he had the best year in the history of the UFC. He beat 3 former champions in most dominant fashion. No one has ever done that in the UFC. He beat Ryan Bader, who at the time was undefeated. If you're telling me that Jon Jones,
Ryan Bader was overhyped.
Get out of here with that. If you're telling me that, and so what? He beat him. He beat him quite easily. If you're going to tell me, let me finish. I let you talk. Let me talk. If you're going to tell me that Jon Jones is not deserving of every single accolade that he receives, then you don't even deserve to be calling the show. You're just another fanboy who wants to hate Jon Jones, and I never use that line. But if you're going to tell me, forget about the rankings, forget about the 1, the 2, the 3. If you're going to tell me that Jon Jones hasn't had the greatest year in the history of the UFC and is not deserving of at least being in the conversation of being the best in the world, then you, my friend, do not know anything about mixed martial arts, and there's no point in even talking to you because you have a deep hatred. People don't like Jon Jones. I get it. You feel like he's not sincere, but they just feel as though he's been given too much, and I get it. But don't take away what he did. Not only did he beat these guys, he beat them dominantly. He annihilated them. And that's something that Anderson Silva hasn't done every time out. That's something that GSP hasn't done every time out. And look at who he's doing it against. Let's be honest. Let's look at who Anderson has fought in his last 4 or 5 fights and look at what they've done. Look what GSP has, who he has fought in his last 5 fights, and look at their resumes. And now look at what Jon Jones has fought, who he has fought.
Jake Shields, he doesn't have a good resume?
Okay, that's one guy. And Jake Shields isn't a former UFC champion.
What about all the guys GSP has beat?
I'm not taking anything away from GSP, but what I'm saying is if you can't look at Rampage Jackson, Shogun Rua, and Lyoto Machida and see what he did against them and not say that, wow, that was impressive, that was not, that was something that has never been done, what would be more impressive?
It's not something that's never been done. I mean, what about Matt Hughes, the legend, too, and GSP dominated him? I mean, back in their day, they were
in 1 year, my friend. In 1 year, in like 6 months, he did this.
Yeah, no, you know what? The most impressive year thing, I won't disagree with that. I haven't sat back and looked at calendar years and tried to figure it out. Maybe he has had the best year in UFC history, but that doesn't change the fact that he has 2 title defenses, and you can't put him ahead of somebody with 6 title defenses when he has 2. I mean, I don't understand how you can do that.
All right, fair enough. But what's the deal? Well, who cares? Who cares? Who cares about 1 versus 2? To me, it sounds like you're trying to take away what he did this year.
I'm not trying to take it. He had a fantastic year.
Who cares where he's ranked? What do you care what one guy? You're getting worked up because one guy named Michael David Smith has him ranked? Who cares?
No. That's what I'm referencing. I'm getting worked up because the whole MMA community is acting like this guy's the second coming of Christ, man. He's a good fighter, but he doesn't have
No. He's not a good fighter. He's an amazing fighter. He's one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest in our sport. And if you don't believe that, my friend, then you just don't like him. And I get it. I get that. Everyone has an opinion.
I think he's a very nice guy. I think he's a great person.
No. I mean, like, you don't like him as a fighter. I mean, you just don't like him as a fighter. You're not a fan of his, but then you're a fanboy. You're just a fanboy.
No, I'm not against him. I'm not against Jon Jones. I'm just against him being ranked number 2 pound for pound in the world.
Where would you rank him?
I would probably rank him number 4. I would put GSP and Aldo ahead of him.
So that's what you're getting worked up about? 2 versus 4? Who cares?
Yeah, because that's a big deal. GSP has been defending the title for so long, only to be surpassed by a dude who has 2 title defenses. How would you feel if you were GSP?
Well, I think this sport is a what have you done for me lately sport, and I think that the fans just haven't been all that impressed with what GSP has done. On the flip side, you have Jon Jones, who has finished 4 people, age of 24, and I think he made.
Silva, who
what about him?
People by knockout and submission. Jon Jones has yet to knock someone out.
Hey, buddy. By the way, I have Anderson Silva number 1.
Hey, good day. There we go.
So I don't know what we're arguing, but guess what? Guess what? I have Jon Jones number 2. Josh, say goodbye to this man. Say goodbye to this man.
I love you, man, but I can't agree with you on that.